Welcome to Puff Daddy Reef, and thanks for watching today. I have a very special announcement. Today we have reached 150 subscribers, so thank you very much for watching my channel and encouraging me to keep posting new videos every week. And if you haven't subscribed, please click on that button and hit subscribe. It'll only take a second and it helps me out a lot. So today I've got a really exciting unboxing of an innovative marine Nuvo Fusion aquarium. And at the end of this video, I'll show you a really cool experiment I did, how to really tell if it has high clarity glass or not. And you'll see my comparison at the end if you're really wondering about their claims of the ultra high clarity low iron glass. But for now, let's get straight into the unboxing. So the box came as a box inside a box, direct from, I bought it over the internet, and it got shipped to me. It's inside the box, it's sitting in there with little foam squares, and I'm just going to pull it out. It's got the non-tamper innovative marine tape on it, and you know, it's an unboxing, so it's boxes. Honestly, I don't think there's much to it. What's exciting is what's inside the box, so let's get down to it. So here's the front of the box, and they have this picture of this businessman in this big tower overlooking the city, and he's staring at two blank pieces of paper. But he has this aquarium there, and it's calming his nerve, relieving his stress, and making him the best businessman possible. But there's some truth to that. This tank will relieve stress. You'll have fish in your life, which is always a good thing. And also, it is a all-in-one tank. The sump is in the back, so it's kind of simple to deal with. It's a great office tank and a nano tank, so I'd recommend it if you live in a small apartment or want to use it for an office. I want to talk about some of the specs on this tank while I get unboxing. The length of the tank is 24 inches. It's 15 inches wide, and its height is 13 inches. So it has a pretty good footprint for a tank, especially a saltwater aquarium. It's got a little more depth and height, which is good, and you don't see that all the time when you buy just your standard 29-gallon tank. It also has a mesh screen top with clips, built-in overflows, a rubber leveling mat, and two removable filter baskets, which aren't that good, but I'll get to that later. It also includes a pump, so theoretically you have the pump ready to go. You can plug it in. If you're keeping SPS, or if you like a high flow rate, you'll probably want to upgrade it, since the pump is just 211 gallons per hour. So as you can see, I've just pulled it out of the box for you. Unboxing is what it is. It's out of the box. There it is. I'm looking at the tank. It's packaged nice. It's covered in plastic, but let's see what's inside. So I'm going to cut open all this plastic here, all their tape. It's kind of annoying. I'll get to it. And I'm really excited. One thing I like about this tank is it's designed for reefers that have been in the hobby, people that know a little bit about reefing. It's kind of an evolution on their older tanks with the curved glass, but those had a glass top. What I really like is it comes with a mesh top, which is something I would have built anyway. A lot of people like mesh tops because it allows the tank to breathe more. If you're using an auto top off, which I highly recommend with this tank, it doesn't matter that you're going to have more evaporation because your auto top-offs there is going to keep things stable. But the mesh is a great way to deal with heat, and for a tank this small, you're probably not going to want a chiller. So here's the tank in all its glory, unboxed. It looks nice. It has clean bezeled edges. The black silicone and the straight edges looks amazing. So I'm trying to feel on this wall here. It feels like it's definitely an acrylic back wall with dual overflows, and it's sturdy. None of the stuff is delaminated or anything or separated. It's a strong tank. It survives shipping, and that's good for me because if it can survive shipping, hopefully it can survive some of the abuse with all the crazy fish I'm going to put in there. Now there's the overflows there. There's two of them. I've heard some issues on some people that maybe there's some small leaking in the bulkhead that just results in some creep. It has these plastic, really cheapo media trays, which are absolutely terrible. It's the major knock I'll have on this tank. When a company sells an upgrade for their own tank, recognizing that something they sell is insufficient with the tank, I'd be a little concerned. But at the price point for this, at $200 flat, I'm not too worried about the media baskets. You can upgrade them or make them all your own or do your own system. So here's the top, and I'm excited to see what this is like. It has, actually, it's a hard plastic. I'll kind of unwrap it and describe it a little more, but bulk reef supply, and it has a screen top mesh, and it's just used a real thin netting. But this actually has a hard plastic mesh. And when I looked at reviews and pictures, I almost thought it was like a plastic rubber or something, but it's actually a really stiff, hard plastic mesh. Now it looks white and clear, but I'm not sure how much light can actually penetrate through it. I saw some other reviews where someone said there was a lot of light that actually reflects off it, and so he actually spray painted it black. And now I see how you can do it since it's hard plastic. And perhaps I'm thinking maybe I'll spray paint it black too. Now the screen top mesh overall though is put together really well. There's no sagging. The spline is in there real tight. In the corners you can see some slight gaps where you can see through the edge, but overall looks good. Looks like it'll fit. So I'm going to set that aside and see how we put it on. There's these 4 little clips. They're clear. Honestly, I'd prefer if they're black. I think black kind of would blend in and fit the whole theme of the tank a little better. But they're clear plastic, and I'll just set this on top. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's flush with the top. It's something that you'd have to pay money or build for yourself, but it does have the issue that there is a lot of gap there. Now, it's not enough to concern me. I think it'd be really rare that maybe a firefish or something could wiggle out from it. But comparing it to the extremely great silicon job on this, there's just really high tolerances that I'm not sure I'm as happy with. But overall, I'm just thrilled because for $200 to get the screen mesh, and a decent return pump, I'm happy. Now I can't really do anything about these baskets. Maybe I'll use them, maybe I'm not, but honestly, I'm just treating those as like freebies because the rest of the tank looks really good. The return in there should be fine. I don't think you need extremely high overflow if you're going to have another pump in the tank. And I plan on using a small like MP10 or similar pump just to get some flow going around this aquarium. Now if you are going to use their accessory like the spin stream, or Hydor has one that kind of turns and distributes the flow, then I would definitely get a more powerful pump because you're going to need it. There's going to be additional pressure loss. But it's a tiny pump is fine, and there's not a lot of head loss, which is from pumping it up height because you're not pumping it up from a lower sump. So extreme power isn't necessarily needed, and I think almost 100% I'm just going to keep the stock pump on this. And yeah, that's great. So another thing I noticed is the back of it is this acrylic is pretty sturdy. It's pretty thick, and I'm happy with that too. The back of the tank is painted black, or it appears to be painted black. There's actually some sort of like black, like almost plasticky contact paper on there. So I'm going to take the lid off and kind of look inside. There you can see at the bottom, which I wasn't really expecting, is the leveling mat is kind of like already glued on. So the bottom of the tank has this little, they say it's rubber, it's more like a light foam rubber. It's very thin, not super heavy duty stuff, but it's there, and I think that's a great thing to be there to kind of reduce the stress on the bottom of the tank. And if you may have noticed on the tank, looks nice. Also, I haven't removed the backing on the acrylic, but the back is black. There's just this protective tape there. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the outflow nozzles. They're directional, but there's not a lot of options for directions. There's only one connector in there. If you had multiple lock line links, perhaps you could guide it. The silicon job is something, though, that is first rate. It's just amazing. The black silicon looks great, really professional feel, and on this high clarity glass just looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to say 3 things I don't like about this tank and 3 things that I love about it. The first thing that I don't like is the media baskets. They're might as well just not include them. I know it's a good idea that they have them in there, but I would also like the option of a bundle with the nicer media baskets that they actually make for their own tanks. I don't know why those aren't in there. The outflows, you really can't control the directionality very well. That's the second thing. But once again, if you have another pump in there, you're not as concerned about that. The lid, it doesn't fit that well. It's great. I love that they have it. I don't have to make one, and I'm not going to make a different one for myself. I'm going to use the screen mesh that there is, but it doesn't fit the best on top. Things I like though, the silicon job is absolutely first rate. The build quality, the thing is strong and durable. Other than the media baskets, it's amazing. And you know, the overflow, the whole back wall, the black silicon, I'd really like it. It comes together. I think that was 3 things. If that wasn't, here's another third that I want to talk about, is glass. It's really hard to tell if glass is high quality just by looking straight at it. And when they claim there's low iron glass, you want to know if you're getting what you're paying for. Well, one way to do this is to look through the long pane of the glass. What I did for this experiment, looking long ways through the whole length of the aquarium, I actually taped a pattern to the wall of black and white dashes and shined a light on it and took pictures so you could see the difference between regular glass and ultra high clarity glass. So I set this experiment up, and now I'm looking down through the length of the front panel of my 29-gallon aquarium, like Petco $1 a gallon tank. I think this is a Tetra tank, and you can see that the glass is very green. There is, not as much contrast between the lines. Now compare this to the 24 inches. I know it's shorter, it's 24 inches versus 30 inches front panel of glass, but compare this to the Innovative Marine Nuvo Fusion. Wow, look at that. There is almost no green tint in it. You can see the white clearly, you can see the black clearly, and it's affirmative. This is high clarity glass on this tank. You are getting your money's worth. So with that, I would highly recommend this tank. I'll leave you with a quick flip back and forth between the two so you can see the difference between a Petco tank and a Nuvo Fusion tank, and it's just amazing. So you decide, do you prefer standard aquarium glass like the 29-gallon Tetra tank or the Nuvo Fusion's high clarity glass? The difference is clear. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is a quick clip of my 80-gallon tank as it progresses, the Deep Blue Frag tank. I still need to post an update, so if you subscribe to my channel, you will be the first to know. Just click right there, and if you want to check out any of my other videos, just please go to my page and scroll down. Thanks for watching, Puff Daddy Reef.